All right, what it do, YouTube? It's time to hop in mode, because look, it's really time to talk about some more Jesus Christ, man. Look. And the character is basically the characteristics of our Father, Yahweh, Jehovah. And look, I can't believe this. I ain't gonna lie, I broke one of the commandments. I'm tripping. God's putting God's name in vain. My friend told me to put it on Jehovah and not put it on Jehovah. But I knew it was true, but I gotta chill. But see, you can't be doing stuff like that, you know. God said don't put his name in vain regardless. But look, yeah, it was kind of shiny. Basically, this video gonna be about why I really started believing in God. First of all, before I get started, I really want to say peace and blessings to everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everybody really had a good Sunday. It's a good Sabbath day, good weekend. But this been on my chest for I don't know how long, probably the whole weekend where I really started believing in God. And what's really been going on when it comes to being on this journey for 3 years. You know, I really started believing in God because of my lifestyle. It was because of my lifestyle, the way the things I was doing in life. I started to feel like I ain't have a soul, like I was a bot walking around, a body walking around with no soul, no purpose in life. And that living a lifestyle like that, it wasn't, I felt like I didn't have nothing going on. Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I feeling like this too? What am I feeling like this for? You feel me? Because I just started feeling like that out of nowhere. But look, my lifestyle was terrible. The things I was doing was terrible. The things I was doing, the people was terrible. And that's what this video gonna be about too. Because if I want y'all to, you know, if I'm trying to spread the gospel and help y'all understand a way to believe in God, I gotta tell y'all my wrongdoings. I'm not coming here to tell other people wrongdoings. You know, other people gotta learn how to hold themselves accountable. But right now, I'm holding myself accountable by even telling y'all my wrongdoings on what conflicted me to start having belief in Yahweh. But to start it off, it was really like the desires of my heart. I was into the wrong things in life, you know, and there's really it isn't I wouldn't say it's not no excuse because, like I always say, the world is programmed. We're born into sin. We come up being taught the wrong things, and we think it's right. But why does it always feel like our conscience is telling us it's wrong? You know, that's how you know sin is really real. Because why does it always feel like our soul is telling us it's wrong? The Holy Ghost. That's how you know the Holy Ghost is in us, but our ignorance really beats us, like our flesh. That's why we have to learn how to battle the flesh, for real. That's why you got to get into fasting. Fasting helps discipline your mental. It helps you fight against your flesh, because your soul and your flesh is always in battle with each other. And that is why you are battling with. I'm thinking somebody coming in. That's why you be battling with spiritual warfare, because your flesh loves sin. But one thing you got to know is that your flesh always wants to be desired. Our flesh always wants to be desired. You know, it's a never-ending battle. That's why why do you think we go through addictions and other things like that? We get that dopamine off that. Tearing us up. But the desires of my heart. I was coming up thinking I had everything had. You know, I'm thinking the world is about females, getting girls, buying jewelry, having fancy cars, having everything, having having the best looking clothes, all the being taught like all the materialistics. Them was the desires of my heart when I was younger. Thinking that like that's what the world is. Like I want to be just like the world. But I soon start to become set apart once the world betrayed me. You know? And that's the thing you gotta learn about God. God will give you exactly what you want. And it's out of love though. God will give you exactly what you want, but it's out of love. It's like your parent steady telling you something because they have the experience, but you're not listening because you think you know better. You think you know what's best for you. God do the same thing to you, but how God is gonna humble you, He's gonna let you go through that test and experience, because He gonna warn you. He always gonna warn us. But it's our choice to listen. It's our choice to be obedient or disobedient. We have free will. We gotta we gotta remember to do that. We have to remember that we have free will. And people still blame God, even though God always warns us about what's really finna go on in our life. You just gotta learn to listen to the signs and get into our spirituality. But the verse I got to really prove to y'all that God gives you what you want is Matthew chapter 7 verse 7. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. So God open the doors that you want open. You want to live a different type of lifestyle. Go ahead, go live that lifestyle. But once you find out it's either good or bad for you, don't come back blaming me like I'm not the one warned you. You feel me? I told you this was gonna happen, but I'm gonna let you have it because this is what you want. You feel me? And that's what I was going through. I was getting exactly what I wanted, and it ended up, some people get what they want. They see that is bad, and they still keep trying. Or some people is ignorant to what's right and wrong. Some people be ignorant to what's right and wrong. And I was ignorant to what was right and wrong, and I still kept trying. I still kept wanting that lifestyle, and it ended up being all bad for me. You feel me? I started feeling like it was a whole bunch of mixed emotions, like depression, anxiety. Anxiety was bad out this world. I was unable to talk to people. I lost connection to people because of the lifestyle I was living. Cause I started to feel empathy. I ain't had no. That's how you know when you have a demonic strongholds. Is you learn that you never had no emotions. I never had no emotions for some reason. I never felt empathy for nobody and what they was going through. I never felt sympathy for nobody either. Emotionless. I did what I wanted to do because I always saw an advantage, and that's how I was taught, and that's what the world teaches you, is to take when you want something and to deceive people to get what you want. That's what the world teaches us. But that's a very big demonic stronghold, And also I also noted down some things as I was thinking about my life. As I was thinking about my life, I also wrote down some things such as the demonic spirits that I was going through as I was living a unhealthy lifestyle, being an adulterer, being a fornicator, being all type of bad things. For what though? For all the materialists on earth. For all the materialists on earth. I'm more in tune now with seeing what life is about. What I can do with my hands. What can I build in this world? But like I said, these are some of the demonic spirits I really experienced living an unhealthy lifestyle. A narcissist spirit, experience lustful intentions, no ambition. I was rebellious. I was always not taking responsibility or accountability, making excuses, always acted before I even thought, and you're supposed to think before you act. But I always acted before I thought. I was building on bad habits, such as like smoking, drinking. You know, I was a deceiver. I had no spirit. I lacked wisdom and understanding. I really lacked wisdom. I didn't like. I was never trying to understand life, and I was prideful. That's the most dangerous thing you can be, because pride comes before the fall. As this verse mentions, Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18 through 19, pride goeth before destruction, and in an haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the ground. You know, it's better to be humble out here than to be prideful. I was always strong on believing in what I had to say, not believing in my beliefs when it comes to being righteous. It was believing in what I had to say at all times. And basically not having no authority, you know. And these spirits, most of these spirits I mentioned, like a narcissist spirit, I definitely had. Like, now that I think about it, you know, I used to hurt people in a way. I would try to keep people around just to get what I want, even if they were bad, even if they were good. It didn't matter if I wanted something out of you, I used to treat people in a certain way. That's a narcissist spirit. Keep you around for some reason, whether it's good or bad, whether you are good or bad, whether I'm ignoring your characteristics. I'm making myself look like the victim, being an accuser, a blamer, like, you know, all the worst things in life. But one thing that really messed me up, and why I even practice semen retention and celibacy, is because of lustful intentions. But being lustful is not always sex. Being lustful means to be have a strong desire for something. You know, lustful intentions was I was focused on the wrong things in life, including sex. But the lustful intentions was one of the worst things I ever went through. Which is why it's even practicing retention and fasting. Because I gotta learn to discipline myself. Disciplining yourself in this world will get you very far, and it also teaches you how to build consistency with your characteristics, with your qualities in life. But what another thing was no ambition. I started to really see I didn't want, like, what did I want in life? What am I doing? You know, I never went back to school. All I was ever doing was YouTube, but it started to become lame because what am I gonna do? What am I actually doing YouTube for? Why am I want to have a career in gaming or in game design or animation or anything? Why do I want to have a career in that? I knew what I wanted to do, but why? You feel me? It was another question behind that. It felt like I had no purpose, because what was I gonna do once I reached there? You know, I was always rebellious to people. I didn't want to listen to nobody. I wanted to just make my lifestyle the way I wanted to make it. I never and listen to nobody who already lived that lifestyle. Like I said, I always made excuses. Never took responsibility in anything. You know, I did what I wanted to do. I never really thought about the future of the outcome when I did things. Like I said, bad habits. I started smoking. And it wasn't smoking like cigarettes or nothing. It was smoking weed, and I started drinking. Like I said, I had no spirit. Like, I'm walking around like a bot. Feeling soulless. Like, what am I doing? It was the weirdest thing ever. And that's pretty much it with that. But after that, it really started to become like humble beginnings, because I started to realize the people I hurt, you know, one thing I didn't care about was other people's feelings. That's one key thing you gotta do, is care about other people's feelings and try to resolve the situation in a way that you can spare both of y'all feelings. But I also don't really mean like spare, because it's also better to be honest and blunt about how you feel, but not in a negative way. Try to not make it in a negative way. But it's also honest to let somebody know how you feel, because regardless of how they're going to feel about it, because they will have way more respect for you, and it will be less stressful on your mental, because you're not honestly being truthful. And they'd be like, okay, at least they told me the truth at the end of the day. At least they ain't try to waste my time, play in my face. You feel me? But what does it mean to be humble? You know, don't seek vanity, first of all. Don't get online always trying to look better than the next person, or talking about somebody's appearance, caring too much about your own appearance. Being a lover of thyself is one of the worst things you could do in this today's life, because that's what you're going to see that in the end days, everybody will be a lover of thyself. People are going to become very prideful and selfish, and at the end of the day, it's not going to be nothing you could tell on anybody on earth, because it's going to be complete free will. You're going to have freedom and free will. You're going to have no discipline in the world. It's going to be a lot different. But also, knowing what it means to be humble is having discernment, which means good judgment. You got to learn, I would say, to what I mean by having discernment and, you know, being humble, how those two intertwine together. You can't be out here just judging people based off their actions. Well, you can, but you got to understand why people do the things they do. You know, we come up from our childhood being taught, like I always say, the world is programmed. We are being taught these things. When people are doing something, don't curse them, pray for them. Ask God to give them a better life, to have a heart conversion, to help them seek his face, instead of judging them off their wrongdoings, because nobody's perfect on this earth. First thing you should always do is think about the things you did first and what you would have did in your situation. You can share your opinion, but do not curse them off of one mistake they do. Everybody mistakes don't define your character. Consistency defines your characters. If they consistently making that mistake, then you can be like, oh yeah, that person is definitely not a good person. But like I said, you know, never judge off appearance. You know, also being humble is loving charity, loving life. You gotta learn that everybody ain't got it like you. You gotta learn it's a balance in life. Understanding that it's a balance in life. Understanding that one thing, if something bad happens to you, that don't mean like it can't happen to anybody else. Like you're the only human on earth. That's what understanding, like it's a balance in life too. It's gonna have to be bad times. It's gonna have to be good times. It's a season for everything. It's a season for love, hate, jealousy, gratefulness, friendship, betrayal. It's a season for everything, but it all comes down to the fact on how you gonna handle it. Every time, 25% of the world, of your world, is what happens to you. The other 75% is how you react to it. But another thing is boasting. We cannot be out here flexing all the time, showing, like I just said, like showing people, or yeah, showing people what you got and what they don't have. That's how you make enemies in the world. That's how you make haters. You see all the idols they always talking about, all these haters they got because, or because of the girl they got, the money they got, the jewelry they got, the cars they got, the house they got. Duh, I'm gonna get mad. I want that too. I what like That's what I'm saying. But and you sitting here flexing into my face and telling me that I'm not the same. I can't do this. I can't do that because you got it all, and you dancing in my face. The devil looks for those type of people to take over. He looks for those type of people to put that envious spirit in, and that jealousy spirit, and that hateful spirit in. He looking for those type of people, and you over here activating that spirit by telling people what they don't have and what you got. And God definitely does not like those type of people. God wants all his humble servants. He definitely don't want those type of people, because this verse right here, Matthew 6, verse 1, take heed that ye do not. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry. Take heed that you do not your aim. What the fuck? My bad. My shit tweaking. Take heed that you do not aim. This don't make sense. Give me 2. Because I just wrote this verse down, bro. Take heed. Yeah, I'm tripping. Alms. I can't read. Take heed that ye do not your alms before man, to be seen of them, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. So look, basically that means every time you really flexing this stuff and telling people how you living your lifestyle, you seeking rewards from men. You're not going to get your blessing from God, because you already have your reward from men. You got all the attention that you want. You got all the money, the love that you want. So what is the point of God blessing you when you don't even feel like you need God? You already got all these people's attention. You got your own kingdom in life. That's why if I'm talking to you and I know you in person, especially in person, I don't even really give out my Instagram or anything. I don't even tell people what I do a lot. I don't do none of that, because what am I gonna do all that for? First of all, I gotta trust you. I already don't even want to tell people what I do, because the topic of God is getting very, very, very sensitive now in the world. There's going to be a point in time where the name Jesus and all these religions is finna die. It's finna be Jesus' name is finna become illegal in the world. So in order for me to be flexing about what I do, and I speak on God, that's very bad. That's a very, very bad decision. I'm really using God's name to reward myself. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy. And me saying that right now, I got to be careful. It just put fear in my heart. Because God know that you can't hide nothing from God. God know why you doing the things you do. That's scary, bro. That's really scary. And you got to make sure the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. Understand that there is nothing on this earth that man could do to you that God can't. God will really humble you on this earth. He said, fear nothing but him, for a reason. He's your creator. But that's what really started making me being set apart. I started to fear God because of the things I was doing to people in my lifestyle. In my lifestyle, the lifestyle I was living, God showed me the supernatural things in life, gave me dreams, and showed me my future if I wanted to keep living that lifestyle. And he warned me. He definitely warned me, and I took heed and I listened for the first time. I listened, but it took me a long time to discipline myself to actually sit there and do things without question. Put faith and trust in God. Put the works in behind it too. But the things that really made me be set apart was betrayal from my own family, my own friends. You know, went through very deep things with my own close relatives, siblings, to the point I wanted to like think like when it happens in your family, you think anybody can do it to you. So it started making me want to be set apart on having friendships and relationships with people. But like I said, it's not blaming anybody or anything, because they gonna take accountability eventually. Everybody got their own time with God. But I could have did things differently too. That's what this really about. But like I said, it was all those things, and it all started with me though. It always start with you. It all started with me though. I could have did things differently. Like I said, some things are really out of your control and sometimes have to go that way, but not all the time. And most of my situations was a not all the time situation. I could have handled things differently. You know, I started being set apart because I started feeling soulless. I had no clue who I am. I started feeling purposely. And then imagine feeling like that when you finna have a child come into this world. What am I finna teach little me? What am I finna teach myself? Basically, that's how I look at my son. I'm like, what am I finna teach myself raising me all over again? I can't be my own enemy no more. I gotta make peace with myself, and I gotta make peace with the people around me. I understand, you know, my son is going to make his own decisions in life, but I could at least I gotta at least lead by example to show him that, okay, the lifestyle that you may be choosing, I lived it before. You can listen to me or you ain't got to. But at least I did my part. That's the best part, dude. That's the best thing you could do. At least I did my part. You can be blameless. God said be blameless. That's the best thing you could be in life. But to end this, I'm going to say this verse because this was me. This was me before. Jude chapter 1, verse 16. These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lust, and their mouths speak of great swelling words. Have man's persons in admiration because of advantage. That was me before. I took advantage of people. I had people in admiration because of what I wanted. I had very great swelling words come out my mouth. And one thing that scared me is you must know that God will hold every word that you ever said accountable. That's why I speak on nothing but good positivity now. If I'm going to say something, I really got to back up, especially if you make me mad, because I know my past. I said very crazy things to people. And words have power. But I got to continue on to move forward, speaking better language. Walking after my own lust was not a good idea. I was a complainer about life when it was the whole time it was my fault. Don't be that person. That's why I make these videos. Don't be that person. It's all off experience. Everything I speak on is all off experience. And as I continue to go deeper into this life, I want to continue to show people like we have a choice. Don't let the devil confuse you. He wants you to see like life is bad, but actually life is beautiful. He wants you to have a hate relationship, but God wants you to love the evil and the good. Just remember that. And that's going to be it for this video, bro. That's only part 1, too. I just want y'all to know that. That's only part 1 of what I really got to say about all this. Because that's not only, I can make 1,000 videos on why I believe in God. But this is only the first out of 1,000 videos. But it's not going to be 1,000 parts. I'm just saying. But look, thank y'all for watching, man. Peace and shalom. Peace and blessings. I love everybody, and peace.